Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. I think we're going to get started. It's 3:32. So again, thank you for joining us, everyone. My name is Ariane Benray. I am the Program Administrator for Community Solar at the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities. This webinar is about the technical process to upload a community solar application for year 2 of the Community Solar Energy Pilot Program. Thank you again for joining us. We know it was very short notice, but we have been receiving a number of inquiries regarding this process, and we felt it would be helpful to have a demonstration live of how this process is supposed to go, as well as make ourselves available for questions. The questions that we are only going to be able to answer questions about the technical process for uploading applications. If you have any questions about the application form, about the questions in the application form, about the application review process, please continue sending those questions to communitysolar@njcleanenergy.com. As a reminder, we're doing our very best to answer every question that comes in, but please send them as early as possible. The more time the earlier you send them in, the easier it is for us to answer in a timely manner. And the more likely you're going to be to receive a response that will actually be in sufficient time to be helpful to you. This webinar is being recorded. We will post as soon as it is available after the end of the webinar a link to the webinar on the frequently asked questions page for Community Solar. So you will have an opportunity to watch the webinar again or provide the link to anybody who might have missed it. I'm going to give just a few other notes and reminders before I turn this over to Lori. The first of which is the deadline for applications for year 2, as you are no doubt well aware, is February 5th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, February 5th, this coming Friday. The deadline, the 5 p.m. deadline, is a strict cutoff. It is based on a timestamp that is automatically generated by the e-filing portal, which is the portal through which you need to upload applications and that Lori is going to run through in just a minute. So as this timestamp is automatically generated, there really isn't anything, there's no subjectivity here, and there's nothing that we can do. So please account for any possible delays or time needed for slow internet, delays in uploads. If you begin uploading an application at 4:59 p.m. and the system doesn't process it until the timestamp shows 5:01, unfortunately, there is nothing we can do about it, and your deadline will, your application will not be considered. So please plan accordingly. Applications, as we said, will only be accepted through the board's e-filing portal. Applications that are submitted in hard copy or emailed to the board secretary or the Community Solar Questions inbox will not be accepted. Additionally, if you have supplemental information, if you have letters of support that are being submitted for your applications, make sure that a copy of those letters and additional documents are included in your application itself. It's very difficult for us to tell which letter goes with which application if they're submitted separately. And again, we cannot accept documents that are submitted through email or that are submitted in hard copy. They must come through the e-filing portal as part of the full application. The frequently asked questions page for Community Solar is being regularly updated. I would highly encourage you to go on the frequently asked questions page, take a look. There have been a number of updates in recent weeks, including a series of updates in the recent days. The most recent series of updates are all identified using yesterday's date, February 2nd. So if you haven't been on the FAQ page in recent days, I again highly encourage you to do so. Go take a look. The most recent questions are identified by the date. Make sure that you review those. Chances are, if somebody's asked the question, you've had the same question, even if you haven't submitted it. These include questions such as, yes, we are aware that you can't file an Excel spreadsheet through a PDF, so what to do about that? It also includes very specific and clear instructions about how to request confidential treatment, which I will be going over after Lori's presentation. So please stick around for that. There's some important information about exactly how to file that confidential information. Once again, if you have questions, so please submit them to communitysolar@njcleanenergy.com. We will do our absolute best to respond in a timely manner. With that, last thing, if you have questions during this webinar, please submit them in the questions box that is available to you in the through the webinar control panel. We will be taking questions at the end of the webinar or after the presentation, and we'll do our best to get through as many of them as we can. With that, I'm going to turn this over to Lori DiGaetano, who's the Chief Information Officer for the BPU, and I just want to give her and her team a great shout out. It is thanks to Lori and thanks to her team that the online application process for community solar has been possible and is the reason that you are not all sending in hard copy applications. So Lori, thank you very much for all of your work, both over the last few months and the last few days.
Thank you, Ariane. Really appreciate that. Hello, everyone. Again, this is Lori DiGaetano. I am the CIO for the Board of Public Utilities. Some of you have maybe seen my email or received an email from me if you've had some questions, or if I've been the one who has created your account for using the InfoShare product, which is what we have here, the BPU External Access Portal. I'm going to try and go slow, and I'm also going to try and speak very clearly, as I know it's not always easy to hear. If there is an issue, I would say try to let Ariane or Kevin know, and they will give me the heads up, so I will try to be slower or more clear. Okay, the process begins with your My New Jersey account. Your My New Jersey account, if you go to nj.gov, if you haven't done this already, you can create a user ID there. This is run by the state. It is not run by us. We have no control over it. OIT, or the Office of Information Technology for the state of New Jersey, runs that. Excuse me. And you would request an ID, and they would need your email address and a few other things. And then you will be given your ID. At that point, if you are looking at the instructions that are given for e-filing for this application, you would then send an email to my staff, which is the BPU IT Help Desk at bpu.nj.gov email account. When we receive that, we know that you're going to need an authorization code. In order for you to use the BPU External Access Portal that you see on your screen, or you see my screen, you need to have the role authorization given to you. So what happens is, once we send you another email from the My New Jersey page. It is your role authorization code. There is a link up at the top right-hand corner of your screen that will say role authorization. Click on that, and then you add the authorization code. What will then happen is, on the leftmost side of your screen, you will see a link that says BPU External Access Portal, which is this title right here. Okay, you will see the link. You click on that link, it'll be on the left-hand side. I'm hoping you can see my mouse right now. It'll be on the left-hand side of that screen. It will lead to this screen. Now, you will receive an email from my staff, either myself or one of my other staff members, that will give you your internal credentials. So you will have your username, which 99.9% of the time is the email address that you gave us, and the password that we are giving you. Usually that's between 6 and 8 characters. Yes, it is case sensitive, so if you see a capital letter, please use that. If you see a lowercase letter, please use that. It will probably be followed by, say, 4 numbers, excuse me. It's very simple passwords for you to get in. You can change your own password once you're in the system. So you would put your username here, whatever it is. In my case, it's my username, my ID at this point, and then the password that we gave you. And then, of course, you have to use the verification code, which is here, so that we don't have robots trying to get into the system. It is case sensitive as well. And then you would click login. Okay, so again, username that we give you, that comes from the Board of Public Utilities, the password that we give you, and then the verification code that is here on the screen, and then you click login. That will bring you to this screen. This is your welcome. It's a very simple system. As I was explaining a few minutes ago to Ariane, the system has been in existence since 2013, live and fully used since 2016. We are doing some upgrades to it. It will happen within a couple of months. So this will change. It will not be as, I don't know, old looking, I should want to say. It'll be a little bit better. You really have two options here on the left that you can use. Docket case, document upload, which is what you're going to do to upload your applications for community solar. And docket case upload document search. This is to see what documents you have uploaded after that has been done. Okay, so let's do the first one, docket case document upload. Click on the link, and here is your screen. As you can see, very simple. Docs pending transmittal. I will explain that in a minute. You can search for the docket number, and you can upload without a docket number. In this case, all of the community solar applications are falling under one specific docket number that you were given in the directions. So we're going to do that. I'll click on search, and then it's QO, not 0, 20080556, and then search. And here's this very simple description of the docket itself. Here's the case caption, clean energy. Basically, from this point, you want to click here to select this one that you're going to file your application under this docket, and then upload documents with docket number. Okay, that will bring you to this screen. Oops, sorry, one sec. Trying to get back to there. There we go. Okay, so here what you have to do is down arrow, pick docket, down arrow, pick party upload public or party upload confidential. Now I believe you've been instructed to upload both, so you would do one at a time. In this case, let's click this one. You have to move this for a second. There we go. And then click the down arrow here and choose 2021. Once you do that, you're going to add the file now. So you would click add new file, and it will do a simple directory of what you have on your computer, and you can go and look for whatever document that you need to look for, whichever it may be. Not sure which one is, but I'm just going to pick one from here. Let's do this one. Now it hasn't been uploaded yet because you have not clicked that. And as you can see, it says 0 progress, pending. Okay. Again, we'll click upload now. Success, one file uploaded. Great, thank you. And again, I'm going to try and just move this down a bit. And as you can see, here it is pending. It has not been sent to the Board of Public Utilities, but you can see the date and timestamp to the right-hand side that it was uploaded. So here it was, the 3rd, as we have, and 3:45 p.m. That is timestamp from the system itself. When you're ready to send it, then you would click here and click send. Now, if you have additional documents that have to be filed with this, for whatever reason, you can go back and again upload as we have before. What will happen is that this will stay in the pending area, and then you can multiply click 3 or 4 of them and send it off to the BPU. In this case, I'm going to just check that one, as you can see here, send document to BPU, and off it went. Okay? If there's anything pending transmittal, as in if you had multiple documents and you only sent one, or if you want to make sure that you sent everything that you needed to, you would click on this docs pending transmittal, and then you could see if you have anything else available, which in this case, of course, I don't, because it was only the one. If you also wanted to see anything that you have uploaded thus far, you can put the docket number in here if you wish to. In my case, I will do that so that you will see some test documents that we have been uploading just to make sure that everything is functioning correctly. And then it would list exactly what has been sent. Okay, so in this case, you see the one that I just sent prior. and it has the date and the timestamp. It has information regarding what the docket is, and this is just general information for the system. Okay, basically that's really it. Once this is done, and once you have sent it, it will be received by the Board of Public Utilities, and then it will be reviewed and accepted, and you will receive an email back. It's a generated email from the system, and it basically will say that your document has been accepted, and will also list the date and the time that you posted it. The main thing I just wanted to remind everybody again is to make sure that there's nothing pending, that you did actually send everything that you wish to. If there were documents here still, by maybe my mistake, you may have uploaded them, you can remove them. Or maybe there's multiples and you only chose one, you can choose more and then send again to the BPU. It's a very simple process. We tried to make it as simple as possible so that it can be easily used. Thus far, we have had some people, already using the system. We've created quite a big amount of accounts, so we know that people will be using it. And as Ariane had stated before, I would really suggest that you not wait until the end if possible. Also, if for some reason you might have an issue with a file uploading, then we can work with you to make sure that things get taken care of ahead of time. Our whole effort here is to help you make the applications possible and, give you what you need to take care of this. If you have any questions about this that are not going to be answered here or might not be answered here, please, like I said, you can email the BPU IT help desk, all one word, at bpu.nj.gov, and we'll do our best to answer whatever we can. We may not be subject matter experts, but my staff and I can handle whatever we need to assist you with the system. I think that's really basically it. Ariane, if there's anything else that you wanted me to cover, I will.
I think this is great. I have a couple more points that I wanted to emphasize, and then we'll get to the questions. But Lori, thank you very much. If you have any questions about the process that Lori just demonstrated, please put them in the questions box now, and we will go back over them in just a minute. Two things I wanted to stress, well, three things really. The first thing I wanted to stress is that send documents to BPU button. If you have uploaded documents but have not yet transmitted them to BPU using that send documents to BPU, we don't have them. We can't see them. The application doesn't exist from our perspective. So please don't forget to send the documents to BPU. The second important portion that I wanted to go over is confidential versus public applications. You have two options to submit an application to BPU. Option number one is if there is nothing that you would like to keep confidential, nothing that you would like the board to deem confidential, otherwise known as nothing for which you would like to request confidential treatment, then you only need to submit your application once. It's the one PDF, and you must file it under the public version. And actually, Lori, if you could maybe go back to the document upload page, and we can see, again, Lori, as you showed us how to upload, right? So we search the docket number, and it will show the upload public. That is option number one. Option number two is if there are documents for which you do wish to request, or applications for which you do wish to request confidential treatment, you are going to need to upload two separate versions of that application form. The first version of the application you are going to need to submit is going to be the public version. Thank you very much, Lori. The public version will contain the application with redactions, and the redactions are going to be the redactions of the information that you wish to keep confidential. And then the second version of the document is going to be in the confidential tab, and when you file it as confidential, that is the full unredacted application form. The two applications should be identical, except for the public version will have redactions, and the confidential version must include the affidavit and the request for confidential treatment. And that is a notarized affidavit, notarized and signed, that explains to the BPU why it is appropriate and why you are requesting confidential treatment for certain information. Under no circumstances would you have an application only filed under confidential. So again, you either have a non-redacted application filed in public, or you have a redacted application in public and a non-redacted application in confidential. You cannot have only a non-redacted or redacted, for that matter, application in confidential. We need something to be filed under that party upload public. And whether it's redacted or you want, or you think that there should be information that should be kept confidential by the board. I've said this twice. I'll probably say this again before the time is out, before we leave, but this is just absolutely critical. And so please be careful in making sure you submit those appropriately. If you have already submitted applications and you only submitted an application under party upload confidential, those applications have not been processed and cannot be processed. You still have time until February 5th at 5 p.m. to file the public version of that application. So go ahead, please go in, make sure that you go in, and the public version is what is going to be docketed, and that is what you are going to receive a separate docket number for. Again, if you have applications that are in the system now that you have transmitted to BPU, if you only sufficient, you need to go back in and file a public version of your application. I'll stop harping on it, and I think we'll switch over to taking questions. Last element is a reminder of the email addresses. If you have questions about the process,
Ariane, you keep cutting out. Just let you know.
All right, can you hear me?
Just go one more time.
Oh, can you hear me okay?
You're out. So a little bit, I think Darth Vader-y, if you want to rejoin, and I'll slow down the fort.
I am going to pull out and rejoin. Kevin, if you want to start the questions.
Okay. Lori, are you here?
I am here.
Okay. I guess the first question here, is there a maximum file size, Lori?
We have not been advised of something at this point. Basically, the rule for some usually is 100 megs a shot, and you can do up to 10 uploads at one time of 100 megs. If it's over that, we also know that they have been accepted. So again, I would suggest that you do this early on and not wait. This way, if there is an issue, we can resolve it as quickly as possible with OIT. But we don't really have a major limit. I'm guessing that, you know, there shouldn't be huge in the way of over a gig. Again, the usual rule of thumb that they give us is you can upload up to 10 documents at one time at 100 meg each, and you can do that multiple times. I did see one question, how do you change or update the application? If there's something that you have to change, you can see, I believe you can still see my screen. I did upload another document at this point. And if you look to the right where it says change title or detail, if you clicked on that link, it'll open up this page where you can put any other information that you wish to in here, as far as a caption, or if you'd like something to be noted as to, you know, there's a difference in this one, or something was updated on page whatever might be, but you could do that here, and then you would click update, and then you would see that here. Okay, the information that you changed would be here, and then again you would click this box over here and then send to the BPU. If you don't check this, there's nothing being sent, and it's just going to be sitting in the pending area again. Okay, so again, if you have to change something and you need to note it, upload the documents again, as I had showed you before, and then click on the change title detail over here, and then you can put the information in, update it, and you can then check box, come back to here, and do send to the BPU.
And
Okay.
Lori, if I can jump in here, and first of all, if you can hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you. My understanding, Lori, is until it's been sent to the BPU, it is possible to modify, to delete these documents in the pending upload.
Yeah.
Once they've been submitted to BPU, once they've been sent to BPU, it is possible to close that case, but it will have already been docketed by BPU. So if you realize that you've sent a document to BPU, it's the wrong one, it is possible but very complicated for us to then close out that application and reopen a new application with the new form. So please be careful. Please make sure that the documents that you, and when they're in the upload status, at any time you can take them down and replace them with a new version. But once they've been sent to BPU, it's not final, but it should be. We ask that you please be careful and please make sure that the versions that you send to BPU are the final versions.
Okay, we covered when you were gone the question about the maximum file size, and Lori was showing on the screen about editing documents. So we didn't get, I put flags next to the questions that we talked about. So I don't know if you want to continue with what you were saying before, Ariane, or if we should keep going down the question list.
So let's keep going, thank you.
Okay. I guess I'll read the next one. Is the docket number the same for all? There's another question. Should we have been given a unique docket number?
So I can answer the first one. Certainly, the docket number, when you do a search for the docket number and you file your application under a certain number, yes, it is the same docket number for all of the program year 2 applications. And that is the docket number that's on the left of Lori's screen right now. It's that Q0200805556. That is the docket number for the program year 2 community solar applications. So when you upload your applications, upload them under that docket number. Each individual application that is received by BPU will then receive a separate unique docket number. And that docket number is going to be the identifier for that particular application. But you will not receive that until after it's been uploaded, transmitted to BPU, and then processed by our internal teams at BPU, and will process such that it will receive its own unique docket number.
Okay, so just I guess to follow up on that with another similar question. If they have 2 projects, should I create if I have 2 projects, should I create a separate docket upload? So I mean, they use the primary docket number for everything and get the second docket assigned after it's submitted, and they should submit all their files. They should submit their projects or each application rather separately, right? They shouldn't bundle their applications. That's kind of a question here.
That's correct. So one application form, one PDF is one application. So each project should have a separate PDF. And because I'm going to keep harping on it, if you are submitting confidential versions, or if you want to request confidential treatment on any one of your applications, you're going to have 2 separate PDFs for one application. One that you file under the public party upload and one that you file under the confidential public upload. Yes. If you are not requesting confidential treatment for your application, then you only have one PDF document for each application, and that will be filed under the party upload public. If you have, put it another way, if you have 3 applications and none of them are applications for which you are requesting public confidential treatment, you will have 3 separate PDF documents that you will upload under this docket number to the public party upload. If you are requesting confidential treatment for the 3 applications that you're submitting, you're going to have 6 different documents, 6 PDFs, 3 that you will upload under the party upload public, 3 that you will upload under the party upload confidential. You will come to this page, you will select all 6 documents, and you will hit send documents to BPU. Those will be treated as 3 separate applications. I hope that was clear. I really cannot stress enough, because we have received a number of applications already that have only been filed under confidential. That is not sufficient. We need to have, again, that is not an option. So if you've submitted an application and you've submitted it only under confidential, please go back in. You must submit a public version.
Okay. I guess this question would be for you, Lori. Someone asked, will they receive a confirmation email after they submit their files or their applications, rather?
Right. And will it be immediate? I think is what I saw. It will not be immediate. Yes. You will get a confirmation email that comes once it has been accepted. It is reviewed and accepted by a human being, by a person, not automated. And then you will have whether or not it was accepted or rejected. I wanted to show you here because in case somebody had something pending and you were worried that it was not sent. In this case, I uploaded the document. It's waiting for me to send it, but I'm not going to send it. So for some reason, either I forgot or I go back over to the main area here. If I click on Docs Pending Transmittal, you will see that the document is still here. Okay, and so you will know that it has not left from this staging area. It has not been sent to the actual BPU. So again, you would click here, send documents to BPU, and it's done. Okay, that's gone. Now again, if you hit Docs Pending Transmittal, you'll see that there's nothing there. So you know that everything that you've uploaded thus far has been sent. If you need to check that again, you can go here and you can put in the docket number, Q020080556, do the search, and you will see anything that you have thus submitted, and that these are submitted to the board, okay? And then you can see here as far as the status. You will see whether or not it was accepted or if it was rejected or pending review. Pending review was the one that I just sent, so that's why it's sitting in this area here. And again, you can see that one was rejected because they know that we're just doing some test documents right now. But that's where yours will stay, hopefully, will stay accepted.
Okay, I guess this should be an easy one too, Lori. Is it possible to choose multiple documents for upload, or is it better to do them one at a time?
You can choose as many as you would like. Like I said, you can go up to at least 10. I don't know if I would do that, but you can go up to at least 10. You can select as many uploads as you need to, and it will upload the multiples. And then you just click again. You have to select them, and then off it goes. Send. So you can do multiple at one time. Yes.
Okay. And Ariane, I guess I got kind of a double question for you about affidavits. One is there an example of an affidavit for confidentiality they can access? And the second is the affidavit should be attached to the confidential version, correct?
Second one first, yes, the affidavit should be attached to the confidential version, and it's a joint affidavit and request for confidential treatment. So you do need to explain, there's a letter that you need to include that explains why the information you are seeking to keep confidential should be kept confidential. We do not, I believe, provide examples of affidavits, but I will check on that. We will provide a response in the frequently asked questions page. And if we do have an example, most likely we will, there's a link on the FAQ page for the instructions on how to request confidential treatment. There are board rules that identify how to do this, and those should be available to you.
Okay. Lori, a quick one for you. Is the portable accessible on Mac?
It is accessible using the Mac, but you have to use Internet Explorer. We do have a workaround for that. If you have an issue, you can email the BPU IT help desk and specifically state that, please. And one of my staff members will get back to you. We have been able to successfully handle that thus far, and the users who have been using their Macs have been able to upload. So, there is a workaround, but you do have to use Internet Explorer. We don't have a choice at this point. Again, as I mentioned before, it's 2016 that the portal has been up, 2013 that the system completely has been up. So we do have upgrades to do, but we could not do that this quickly. But right now, Internet Explorer is what you have to use the system. If you don't, you're not going to see certain things when you use the system. You're not going to see those checkboxes that allow you to check multiples and to send. And there's a few other nuances that will not work if you use anything but Internet Explorer. So yes, you can use your Mac, but we do have to use Internet Explorer, and we do have the workaround. So just let us know if you need it.
Okay. I'm going to kind of bundle another two questions together just to getting through these. So the first is, if I have a redacted application, I'll submit both versions using the confidential upload for the redacted and using the public upload for the unredacted. That sounds correct, right?
No, other way around.
No?
The public version is the version that is going to be made public at a certain point in the future. So if you're requesting redactions, the version that you want to be made public is the version that has the redactions, the redacted version. The confidential version is the unredacted application, the application where everything is visible. They will only be available to BPU staff reviewing applications and to the board commissioners. Again, confidential version is the unredacted version. That includes the affidavit with the request for confidential treatment. The public upload is for the redacted version of the application if you are seeking redactions. If you are not seeking redactions at all, the only place you should be submitting the application is in the public upload. Hope that helped.
Okay. Another question, I guess since we have screen share up, Lori, someone's asking, could you show how to add another document so that we can upload the confidential and public documents together?
Sure, it's the same process, but sure.
Okay.
So in this case, we'll go to here, search the docket again. You should know this in my sleep, I think, at this point. Oh, come on now. I did click. Why didn't it? There we go. Okay, Q0 2008 0556. Search. Okay. Upload documents with docket. Again, click on docket. You're going to click the down arrow and pick public or confidential, whichever one it might be, and the year 2021. Add new file. Pick something. I'll do this one again. And then upload. File is uploaded. Okay. And then we're going to upload another document. Should have done that prior, I apologize. But at any rate, do this again. 0, 8, 0, 6. Excuse me, sorry. Upload this docket. Again. I think the one was confidential that I did before. It wasn't. Add new file. Upload. Okay, and then here are the two documents that have been uploaded and they're ready to go. And then again,
So I'm just going to
jump
in here, Lori. I'm sorry. I'm going to make this point as many times as I possibly can. In this example, both applications have been filed under public. So these were either two separate applications. Well, these would have been, two separate applications. These are public. These are the versions of the applications that once the board decides to make applications public, this is what is going to be made public. So if you want any part of these applications to be kept confidential, these would be redacted, and you would also have separately a party upload confidential document. Sorry, I'm just gonna keep saying this.
That's okay. Gotcha. And then, you know, as we had said before, again, you just click, select both of them, and then off you go. They send them to the BPU. I did see something in regards to text boxes. We don't really have text boxes for you to type in, I guess you want to say, except for the change detail area. This is where you can type, okay, and type whatever you might need to if you need to do that, and then click update. Everything else is a drop down. So it should be very simple, or we tried to make it as simple as possible, so that really just in, upload, done, check to make sure they're all there, and you're finished.
Okay, another just quick technical one for you. Well, two quick ones, Lori. Someone asked, do we need Silverlight in order to upload documents?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
In the instructions, you're told two things. One is that you have to use Internet Explorer, and the other one is that you have to upload or onto your system, download onto your system, Microsoft Silverlight. We need both of them to work together in order for you to be able to use this database system or e-filing portal correctly. Otherwise, you will not be able to. And as before, there will be some things that you will not see.
Okay. Another just quick technical. Someone asked if you could repeat the maximum file size, and then someone else asked what to do if their PDF package exceeds that file size.
If it exceeds it, then again, I would make sure that you would email us right away, which is the BPU IT Help Desk email account, BPU IT Help Desk, all one word, at bpu.nj.gov. And we will do our best to assist you as quickly as possible. That's why, again, Ariane has stressed it. Not leaving it for 4:55 on Friday is the best thing that you can do.
And just what was the file size again, Lori? Because people keep asking that.
At
The
this
file size
point,
limit?
right, as I said before, we've been advised that you can upload at least 10 items of 100 meg each. If it's over that, I'm pretty sure that it's going to go through no matter what. But again, if you have an issue, you just need to let us know and we will work it out. Thus far, we haven't had anyone with any issues. So,
how long will it take to receive the specific docket number once we submit the application? Do we need this before the deadline for the application to be accepted? And so I guess they'll receive the specific docket number. Well, I don't want to interject here. But that was the question we just got.
No, you do not need to receive a docket number by the deadline. What you need is for the timestamp that's on the left of the screen to say 4:59:59. And as to the question of how long it will take to get a docket number, that really depends on, frankly, how many applications we receive and how quickly our teams are able to work through them. As Lori said previously, these are reviewed by human beings. It's not an automated process.
Okay. Someone just asked, will there be a recording made available? Yes, that is the intent. As you can see on GoToWebinar, it says this is being recorded. I hope to have this up to YouTube later tonight, if not first thing in the morning. So yes, this will be made available so you can watch it again. Scrolling through the questions here. So a lot of these are kind of repeat questions from before. I don't know, actually, Ariane, are you seeing any other that stick out to you here? I think we might have kind of covered the gist of the questions.
Yes, one about how to name the files. There is in the instructions sheet specific instructions about how to name your files. They should be named with, it should be project, the project name, underscore, the applicant company name, underscore, community solar program year 2 application. So the differentiating factor between, if you have multiple applications, make sure that they all have a different project name. Otherwise, it's going to get very complicated very quickly.
Okay.
You do need a separate affidavit. If you are requesting confidential treatment for an application, if you have multiple applications, you do need separate affidavits and separate confidentiality requests for each of your applications. Sorry, I'm just going through these.
Yeah, I try to mark the ones that I addressed. A lot of them are kind of repeats if you.
If you have an affidavit requesting confidential treatment, please include it. And this is particularly important if you have multiple applications. In order to make sure that we have the right affidavit for the right application, we are asking that you please include it in the version of, in the document, in the application that you're submitting in the confidential party upload. Which also reminds me of another point that I wanted to make, and this is equally critical. When you are uploading applications, when you are creating the PDF files with the application forms, please make sure that they are still in the fillable format. When you hit save on your PDF and it will appear, it will still be that fillable PDF format. That's very important for us because that is the format that we need the applications in to then be able to process the applications on the back end. So please don't print out and scan in your application. That will just make, frankly, our lives much more difficult.
One thing I wanted to just say, Ariane, I'm hoping that you all can still see my screen. If you look towards the middle of the screen, you'll see open/viewed by the BPU. So once you do send it, again, this is when I did the search on the documents that I have already sent, you can see that the BPU has reviewed or not reviewed what is there. You will see the no or the yes in the open or viewed by BPU column.
That's helpful. Thank you, Lori. And apologies because I realized I just caused some confusion. When I say the file should still be in fillable format, that is with the exception of the certifications. All of the certifications need to be downloaded, signed, and scanned and reattached to your application form. Thank you for that clarification. So the body of the application form, what we call section B, should still be in the fillable format, but the certifications are wet signed, notarized, scanned in, and reattached to your application form. Hopefully that clarifies things. Kevin, I think we've
Just about covered it, yeah.
questions. Yeah, there are a couple questions here that have to do with more of the content of the application, about specific files, whether or not they should or should not be included as attachments. We're not going to answer those here. Again, if you have questions about the application form, about some of your attachments, about how to answer questions, please email communitysolar@njcleanenergy.com. If you have questions about the technical upload process or want to just thank Lori for all of her work, that is the BPU IT Help Desk. That email address is ithelpdesk@bpu.nj.gov. And we will do our best to help you and to make sure that your application is able to get uploaded on time. Kevin or Lori, do we have any final thoughts?
Not from my end. I hope that it's been somewhat clear. It really is a very simple process. And wish you all the best. And again, as early as you can possibly file, that would be the better, so that if there are any glitches, which anything's possible, we can try and take care of it as much as we can.
All right. Thank you, Lori. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon, and we will get a recording of this up as quickly as we can. Thank you, everyone.